Crafters. This is Verna from StampinNotes.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm from rural western New York State outside of a small town called Canisteo, New York. And I'm happy to come to you today with a beautiful Easter card. And it is a double Easel fold card, and this is the card. It says, "Wishing you the blessings of Easter, he lives," and it sits like this. You probably could see it better on the front screen where I showed it standing up, and this is the side view of it. So I'll tell you what we need for this card. If you missed some of the measurements, they will be in the description below the video tutorial, as well as all of the supplies and a link to my online store if you need to purchase any of those supplies. If you would like to subscribe, I'd love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell so that you will get notified when I upload my video tutorials. And I'm just so happy to have you here. So this is what we need for this card. We need a piece of thick basic white cardstock, and the measurement for this piece is 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2. We need a piece of Pool Party cardstock. I'm changing the color up on this one. I'm going with a Pool Party, where this one I used the Highland Heather, and the Designer Series paper is the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. Okay, so for this one we need a piece of Pool Party, and this the color of the smaller piece, the measurement of the smaller piece is 4 by 10 1/4. It's scored at 2 1/2 and 5 inches, so it looks like this. And then I have 2 pieces of Designer Series paper, and this paper happens to be from the Fine Art Floral Designer Series paper. It's beautiful, love it. So this has a look of texture on it, and we're going to use this side right here. And the first thing I'm going to do is, this card has a lot of embossing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the heat embossing on the front of this larger piece. And I'm using the vine from Very First Side for on the side here. It's going to come down like this. And I'm using the Sentiment He Lives from the Gift of Hope stamp set, and that will go in the upper right corner. I'm also using Wishing You the Blessings of Easter from this set. This is in the January to June mini catalog. And so let's do all of the embossing on this piece. I'm going to bring in my embossing buddy. If you don't have an embossing buddy, you could use a dryer sheet, and this takes the static away and helps prevent those extra little dots of embossing powder from landing where you don't want them to land. All right, so here's my stamp I'm going to use. I'm using Versamark ink, and it is a clear watermark ink. It's very thick, and it will make the powder stick to it, the embossing powder. And I'm going to lay it on my piece going from left to right, kind of like this, and give that a good press so we get all those beautiful leaf images. And I'm also going to take my sentiment that says He Lives, and I'm going to ink that up. These are the cards I'm planning on sending to family members. I guess about like that. It's a beautiful day today here. It's supposed to be warm, so I'm excited about that. I have to get out and do some yard work. Okay, so I'm bringing in my sheet, my scrap sheet, and this is my gold. I'm using gold embossing powder, and I'm just dumping it on there. My finger's in the way, which isn't good because I probably wiped some of that Versamark off. Let's see here. Okay, so I am just gonna tap the back of this. I'm going to turn it over and see what we got left here that we don't want. And And I'm going to take a little brush that I have in my studio for this, and I'm just going to brush this off because I don't want this here. Sometimes you can do it with your finger too. You just want to go kind of gently around that. And then I think this looks pretty good. There's a little smudge right here we want to get rid of. Okay, so now we can bring in the heat gun. I'll move this out of the way. And this is another great thing if you're embossing, use a Swiffer. I don't know what you call these, but a Swiffer duster, I guess. And that wipes it, collects it and wipes it right off. Okay, so let's emboss this. And I'm going to turn my heat gun up to the highest setting. You just want to keep moving it. You don't want to leave it in one spot. And you will see how it turns bright gold and changes. And this is starting to turn. And this is really hot, so you're going to have to, I have to move my hand from one side to the other. You can also hold it like with a clothespin or tweezers. Okay, that is done. Now I'm going to do the embossing on the lower part and the smaller piece of designer series paper. On this one, put 2 stamps on 1 block so I can do them at the same time. And this says, wishing you the blessings of Easter. And I'm going to put that right here. And then I'm going to bring the vine over and run the vine going down this way. So I just want to ink up the end of it. And that is going to go like this. And again. And I forgot to do the embossing buddy, so hopefully this will be okay. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, except I need to get my thumb out of the way. Okay. There's a little bit right here. We'll get that. And I'm going to grab tweezers to hold it with. Okay, so that's done. All right, now I'm going to put a piece of ribbon across this, and I'm going to use our metallic edge ribbon. This is really pretty. It's in the annual catalog, and about probably, oh, that's probably about an 8-inch piece. You want to cut it longer, err on the side of it being longer than shorter. And I would like my tails on this side, so I'm gonna make my little knot on this side. I'll show you how I do that. I'm bringing in a round tool. You can use anything. This happens to be my aqua painter. I think This is the wrong side, so we'll lay it this way. And I am going to tie a knot on that end of the ribbon around the aqua painter. And again, it could be anything. Okay, so I'm going to slide this off here, hopefully. I'll take the top out this and do it this way. Okay. Now this little loop, I'm going to take this little loop, I'm just going to cut it on an angle like that. And we have little tails. And then you want to take and pull your tails tight. So it will go across this like this. I think it's pretty. Now I'm going to bring in just some tape. You could use glue dots if you want. And I'm going to adhere this down. Or adhere my tails down to the back. Just to hold them. And now I'm going to bring in the cross. Now the cross is from his Love stamp set. This is one that's in the annual catalog. And to save time, I've already embossed this. So you can see I've embossed it with a gold embossing powder. And then I fussy cut the cross out. And you can see this is kind of messy here, but that's going to be covered. So I want my cross on here about like this. Ooh, I think I like this better than the purple card. Maybe up a little. All right, so I'm going to put the cross on there with some dimensionals. And I have the end of the sheet here I'm going to use up. We don't want to waste anything. Okay, so the cross goes, I think that looks pretty centered. There like that. And I'm bringing in our small blossom punch. It's just this little punch here, and I'm going to punch out 2 from Pool Party. And I'm going to take and bend these petals up with my thumb in the center, and just bend up like that, both of them. Bringing in my liquid glue, put a dab on the center here. And that's going to go on the center right here. Put it that way. And then this one is going to sit inside that one. And I'll turn it so the petals aren't going in the same direction to give it a little bit of layering. And I'm just going to take my fingers again, turn them up like this. All right, now I'm going to bring in one of the gilded gems, and I'm going to put it right in the center. And actually, maybe you could even use more than one on that. And now this is going to go centered on our inside base. I like to use the liquid glue a lot of the time because you can move your paper around before it totally sets. If you put it on and it's not quite where you would like it to be. Alright, so maybe up a little bit. Probably about like that. I really love this gold with the Pool Party. Alright, now our bottom one is going to go on here like this. And again, we're bringing in the glue. I'm going to push that right down like that. looks about right. And I'm going to do one flower on this. So again, I'm bringing in the pool party and my little punch. Now, if you wanted to, you could put up, in fact, I probably will, a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock on the back of this. I'm sorry, not on the back of that, on the back of this one that we're going to layer it on to write a note. Wish someone a happy Easter. I think I'll put this right here. And we'll bring in our other layer. Oops. And just center it this way. And a gilded gem, and I should be using my Take a Pic tool to grab these and put them on. There, that's so pretty. I love the colors on this. All right, and so this is gonna layer on this base of thick Whisper White. And we'll add some glue. I am doing a Monday mystery stamping at 6:30 p.m. Monday evenings, Eastern Standard Time. Love to have you join us. Okay, and there's our card. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great week. Take care.